Hope everybody's doing good and staying safe with everything that's going on. It sucks. I wanted to be playing actual basketball games in real life, but yeah, just hopefully you guys are staying safe. You guys know the whole spiel, everything like that. I don't need to be telling people what to do with their hygiene and all that. But I just want to talk about the current state of 2K and what I want their future to be, because I don't know. To me, the game. I'm gonna say this: the pattern that I've noticed is that when it comes to a new console coming out, they put a lot more effort into it because, you know, it's usually a console game. Like the release date for the console, those games come out immediately. Usually the sports games, so that's why they draw in the biggest crowd, because there's nothing to play on the PS. There's gonna be nothing to play on the PS5 when it first comes out. So 9 times out of 10, they put the most effort in during that time. Of course, though, they don't really have any competition. They still don't have live to go against, so it's still, it's still not going to be the best. Now, I get it. To me, this year was pretty much a bust of a year. I do like what they did with the customization of making our players. It is not as bad as I thought it was when I first played it. It is worse than what they said it was going to be, like making our own players, but it's definitely not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So kudos to them for making the My Player Builder. It definitely was a step up from what we had last year. It gives you a lot more customization, a lot more tools to make what you want. But I'm gonna probably put it in a list of 10, I guess. Number 10 of what I want as far as the game goes, of course, a new park. I put this so low on the list because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a new park. I don't see them doing a third park of the same place. If they do, that will immediately ruin 2K21. But that's why I have that low on the list. But number 9 though, I think is another really big important one, which they have with Pro-Am. But I do still think the park needs to be like it was back in 17. In 17 and before, when you were in the park, you were playing park games. That's definitely something that has to be back to normal. It shouldn't be a central hub for everything, not for your training, for your it shouldn't be a central hub for all that stuff. It should be just park stuff. That's all it should be. It should be just park games, park gameplay. That's all it should be. It shouldn't be getting ready for reg and all that stuff. There needs to be a different stage for all that other stuff. So I think it needs to go back to that, because it's too much running in the game and everyone cares so much about the win percentage. Even if the win percentage is trash, or even if it is good, people care too much about win percentages nowadays and they'd rather not play the game. Back when in those other games, nobody really cared. They was just playing the game. They was just in it to play, and they was just ready to hoop. That's all it was. But that's another thing they need to fix. As far as number 8, another annoying thing. If they're gonna have archetypes, I say limit builds to certain extents. All right, limit a build that's not a sharpshooter. A non-sharpshooter should not be able to get Limitless Range Hall of Fame. I think everyone pulling from distance is getting annoying now. And as you can see, like, I done made some nonsense shots, and I made a video of extending my range. I think if you're not a pure sharpshooter, you shouldn't have certain badges. You shouldn't be able to get certain badges, which I think is another thing they dropped the ball on this year. I like being able to switch badges out and stuff like that, but certain badges are OP, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's just the way the game is. But you should have it where certain badges aren't obtainable by certain builds. Even if you're a playmaking shot creator in this game, you can still get Limitless Range Hall of Fame, and that's not good. That, to me, it destroys the reputation that people like Steph and Damian Lillard have made from shooting far back, because everyone can't do it. So I think that should be another thing, is that they should limit archetypes with their actual potential if you're gonna do it based on badges. Personally, that's how I feel. Another thing is, you got to get rid of this overall system. This overall system is bad. It was good when they first announced it because it was a cool idea. But the problem with this is, if you play team ball on Park, you're never gonna be 99. You're never gonna be able to keep your, you're never gonna be able to keep your ranking. But you're playing team ball. You're playing the right type of basketball. But you can't keep playing threes and always drop 22 to get your stuff to go up, or just to keep it to stay where it is. They shouldn't punish you for you playing how the game should be played. That's how I see it. But there's a lot of people that may not agree. But that's how I see it, though. There's a lot of problems with the way that they've been doing things in the past. But I just don't like that. That doesn't really reward you that well for that. It was a good idea, but the way they go about it is not the best. Number 6, as far as what 2K has got going for them, to me personally, the customization is still really limited in the game, and it's always been limited. My problem with the game is they have so much stuff going on. They have so many hairstyles in the game that you can't use that people have. I think honestly it's a quick fix. All they have to do is add in certain basketball players' hairstyles. Just add in this, that, and the third. You don't have to make it spot on, but you can have Anthony Davis. You know how you have Anthony Davis hairstyle in here. Why don't you have Dennis Rodman's old hairstyle, or have Derrick Rose hairstyle, or things like that? There's only a few hairstyles you can get in the game, and for a game based with a lot of customization features in it, I think it's lacking a lot more than you would expect, and I think that's where I found most of my issues with the game too, is that they lack in a lot of things where they don't have to, but they cut corners on it. And that's just a thing that 2K does. You just cut corners on a lot of things. Number 5, I will say they need to put a little bit more attention and detail into keeping everyone entertained. And by that I mean, like, not these little events, because once you do these events once, if they're not worth it, then you're not gonna do them again, and you're gonna go to the stage and you're just gonna play regular. They're not really worth it to do them. You're not getting a good amount of VC or anything. It's not worth doing them for like a jersey or something like that. You need to make these events worthwhile so people will come back and play them in the future. And that's one thing I didn't like about this year, is that there's no reason to try to play these events. You're not really getting anything. Yeah, you got a backpack in one of them, but it's like, it's nothing worth going for anymore. I'm gonna say number 4. Is the servers. The servers, they're better than what they used to be. They used to be garbage. I'm actually not gonna say much about the servers. They've been better. But for a game of this caliber and how much money they make per year, they need better servers. And for them to be shutting down the 2 prior years each year, they should have more than enough server, ability to have really good servers on their games. Especially if games like Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, all those other huge games, Call of Duty, can have steady gameplay with their games going and the previous game still playing. You should be able to do this, 2K. It's a simple fix. Number 3, kind of goes along with the park stuff being like matchmaking and everything like that. It's just have it so it's not so much running going on in the game. I don't really know how you can hide stats. You want to know people's stats, all right? That's just in the game. But I think there needs to be a way where you can have it, if there is matchmaking, then you can have people play on similar levels of some sort, but don't have it outrageous. People shouldn't be playing, you want to play comp. You don't want to play a bunch of easy games all the time, but you want it to be where it's kind of like 17, have it where you can play these games and you can play with these type of people, and then you'll once in a while you run up against a really comp team, something like that. That's something I think they need to focus more on as well. Number 2, it really sucks, but I think 2K just needs to focus on, I think, bringing back the core gameplay of the game. It's too unrealistic now the way it is, even with archetypes. Stuff that happens in real life NBA, it happens like, the stuff that rarely happens in the real life NBA, except for the really good superstars. It happens too often in this game. Um, there just needs to be there needs to be actual testing going on in the game before they drop it, and that's a really big issue I have with 2K just in general, is that they don't really care about what they do when it comes to having the game tested and actually seeing if there's any bugs or issues with the game. They really don't test to see what's going to happen or see what's going to be broken. And honestly, if anyone would have actually tested the game, if you would have gave the community the game, some people in the community the game for maybe a week or 2 weeks before the game comes out or something like that, give them a few weeks to play it and let you then be like, yeah, this is going to be a problem. People like Poor Boy Sin, or let 2K Labs, maybe 2K Labs, let them see it, let them see some stuff and see where this is going to be an issue if the game comes out. Because anyone could tell you that behind the back was going to be a cheesy move eventually. No matter how you wanted to slice it, it was going to eventually be a cheesy move. Just testing, just simple testing, simple gaming stuff that should be already included in their budget just doesn't happen sometimes. And this is another thing that I'm going to go to, is that the main fix they need to do is, for number one, is the VC. The VC and the in-game transactions will always be a big problem in video games today, but 2K is nearly one of the worst, and it's gotten so bad to where you were getting a good amount of VC at the beginning of this year and 2K19 when they added contracts and things like that in the game. When you were getting endorsements and everything like that every few games, it was a good amount of VC you would get from just playing the game. And last year I was able to make a whole new player without spending any money off of just me playing the game. Granted, I was playing a bunch of my career games because I was going to 99. And this year I was getting a really good amount of VC, but they stopped it. They stopped it in the tracks because they knew people were getting good VC. They weren't continuously buying VC online. And sadly, that was an issue to 2K, is that we were getting a good amount and not buying any online. So they put that to a stop pretty much, and made it so we made much less VC off of those endorsements and contracts and things like that. And it sucks because, like I said, like for me, like I said, I'm in a good position. I can spend a little money on the game as much as I don't want to. You didn't pay $60, maybe you paid $80 or $100 for the game and bought a different version, and then you have to ask your parents, hey, I know I asked for the game. Can I get $20 more so I can fix up my player? Can I get $40 more so I can upgrade my player? That's really not anything you can honestly do. At least not. I wasn't able to do that. Once I got the game, that was it. Couldn't pay no more other than that. You get one game maybe once a month. We were able to get a game like once out of the month or anything like that. We weren't able to keep putting extra money into the game. So if people were actually in in parts where they can't afford putting extra money into a game where it really doesn't do anything for you, unless you're gonna be pro, it's a waste of time and money. Especially, it's a waste of people that care about the game, people that are fans of the game, but they have to go through the game as a 60 overall and get all that VC with that one character and then upgrade along the way. It's a lot of work to come from 60 overall and to use no VC that you buy and to get as high as you want. Even in 2K15, it was tough. It was tough to get that high, to be a high overall and not spend VC. And then if you don't spend VC and you don't become a decent overall when you go to the park, you're not getting picked up. It's just not happening. You don't spend VC on that, you're not getting picked up. And guess what? You don't spend VC on clothes, you're not getting picked up half the time. Because you start you out with a brown shirt and the gray pants, they're not going to pick you up. And 2K does this specifically so people will be forced to buy those clothes. You don't get any decent clothes unless you buy the special editions. So basically, if you put in the extra money, you get some clothes to start off with. You're gonna have to buy some clothes. You're still gonna have to buy some shoes because you come out with the generics. People don't want to run with you, and that's the way that they mess the game up. They make it kind of a tiered society with people that have VC and people that don't, and that's really what sucks, is because it takes away from the game, and that's one of my biggest gripes. I hope they change a lot of that stuff in 2K21. I doubt it they'll change any of that stuff. I just hope they change most of it, to make the game better than what it is and what it's been for the past few years. It's been a cash grab for the past few years. Nobody can deny that. That's just what it's been. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm gonna come with an actual wish list of what I want on 2K21 soon. And let me know what you guys want to see. I really don't know what I want to post, and to be honest, I might post more Warzone or something like that. I might play Apex, but it's been slow for 2K. I don't want to really play it that much. It's not as fun as I thought it would be, even in quarantine and stuff like that. But you know, who knows? But it's been your boy. I'm gonna see you guys later. Thanks for all the support. Stay safe out there. Peace.